I wanted Betty to experience the massive events and social shifts of the 100 years that she's around. But I had to make it plausible that a woman from her background would have experienced those things. So I knew there were things I wanted to do, like I wanted her son to be conscripted to the Vietnam War, and I wanted Betty to get involved in the women's movement in the 1970s, and I wanted Betty to go travelling and have a fabulous affair with a younger man in Mexico. That's probably just my fantasy, but anyway. I sort of tried to make the timing work, but all the way along the line I had to make it part of Betty's emotional story as well. She wasn't some outlier, some extraordinary woman. She's just an intelligent, spirited woman doing her best with what was available to her. My mother, in a way, was the inspiration point, because I thought about how much the world changed. She was born same time and place as Betty. So some of the early experiences, like evacuation in the war, the Blitz, coming to Australia as a 10-pound pom, is my mum. And some of it is me. I mean, I worked as a model for an artist. I wrote television in the 1980s, wrote television drama, and I'm a mother. So a lot of those things are me. But with a book this long, with this many characters, you basically steal story from every human you've ever met in your life. It's written in the first person, so Betty's voice is very important. She's writing with the wisdom and the insight of a woman who's in 2028, talking about her early life. It was very important to me that she be honest, and she's funny when she can be, is aware of herself as a storyteller. So that was fun, really, to have it, that she's conscious that she's telling you her story. Betty has lots of regrets. She regrets that she was so hard on herself, because she grows up feeling that she's not worthy of love. And some of the most foolish decisions she makes are because she assumes she's not worthy of love. She feels a lot of guilt as a parent. Betty experiences death very early on, and she talks at the time about the fact that even when the most terrible things happen that you'd think would shatter a person into 1,000 pieces, they most of the time do gather themselves and keep going. She's fascinated by that process within herself. You can't be 100 without having almost all your peers die, and many of your younger friends, what she considers her young friends, also die. Maybe in a way, I, as a younger woman, was more emotionally rehearsing that process for myself too. Like, a lot of my writing is me imagining lives I can't live, because you can only live one life. I suppose I was imagining how I can be a fabulous old woman, as I think Betty is. I wanted the book to say, actually, a person can be fascinating when they're in their 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. She's not some sort of amazing freak of nature. She's still an older person. She's still tired. She still has health problems, but she's passionate about the world, and she's taking on challenges all the time. I'm writing the old woman I hope I will be. I'm very wary when people talk about a golden age, because often they're men. It might have been a golden age for men. For all the things that are wrong in the world now, and at the moment, so many distressing things. I mean, it feels like we're taking many steps backwards at the moment. But I still think that I would rather be a woman, a person of colour, gay in 2025 than I would in 1928 when Betty was born. And I think it's important to remember that, because I think that should inspire us to fix things, because people worked very hard. Say women worked very hard in the 1970s to fix things for women. And so the onus is on us to see what's unjust in the world and do what we can, that it's not impossible, because people have done it in the past. I think Betty, like my mother, was intelligent and spirited and hardworking, and she was born too early and too poor to get the advantages to be able to be the best person she could be. But Betty also talks about her son. He's an anxious person, a very sweet soul, intelligent, empathetic, at a time when that kind of man found it hard to find a place, especially in Australia, in a sort of blokey culture where being anxious was something you would have to hide. There's all kinds of people in the book who might have had a better chance if they were born later.